Many other cases in other countries against Pervez Musharraf, against the people in Pakistan who were involved in selling people and are still continuing as we speak now, selling more people, like Afia Siddiqi's case, the lady that has gone missing for more than 7 years. And they've sold her with 3 of her children, where she disappeared for 7 years, and now she resurfaced in New York and locked up in New York, charged with false charges. So many people like Afia Siddiqui. I remember more than 1 year ago, I was here in the same place here speaking with Mazem Beg and with Anwar and with another guard. And I was speaking about the case of Ali al-Fakhri, who was locked up in Libyan prisons, who was sold to the Americans by the same way we were sold by the Pakistani Pervez Musharraf government. And then he ended up being tortured, and lots of false information was extracted from him. And those false information were the basis of the invasion of Iraq. Dick Cheney and Bush invaded Iraq basing those false information, based on those false information. And then when they realized that those information that they've justified their war was false, they got rid of this man and sent him to Libya to die because he was in opposition to the Gaddafi regime. So they sent him in secret to Libya. And I said that last year because at the time he wasn't murdered yet. Because I was thinking that we can campaign for his release. The more we expose his case, that he will not be murdered. Because we knew we had information that he was sent secretly to Libya. But this man, sadly, I would tell you that he has been killed and murdered in Libyan prisons. Many other people ended up like Ali al-Fakhri. And that's why we need to campaign and need to expose the lies and need to bring to accountability the people who have committed those crimes and said those lies. And it is important because those people, as I said, are still campaigning in America. They have strong backings and lobbies and money and media, the Fox News and other outlets, crazy outlets like that, supporting their causes. They paid lots of money now. Many of them, like Blackwater's company, which is used as mercenaries in the war, they paid lots of money, and lots of that money that is paid to those missionaries or mercenaries is paid back into funds to those right-wing or right militant campaigners in the United States. It is, for those reasons, it is very important to continue to bring cases against those people. And we want from all of you is to remember and to continue to work and give us support and volunteer in any way that you can into bringing these cases. Because we tried to speak to many established lawyers, and some of them did give us support, and some of them, as I said, we did start a couple of cases, but we need to bring more cases, and we want to bring a popular movement where lawyers who have principle, like Anwar, Aamer, and others, would take cases against those people, even if we didn't have the funds to pay for those cases. And at last, I wanted to thank you very much for your support, and I was so happy to see you again after 1 year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Omar. Just before we finish up, I do hope we managed to respond to most of the questions. If we didn't, I do apologise. Maybe you could grab the speaker at the end. If I could very briefly just respond to the question about human rights, that has always been part of the anti-war movement's campaign, has been to campaign on these issues. The anti-war groups across the country were amongst the first to campaign for the Guantanamo Bay and Bagram Airport detainees, for example, and also campaigned on behalf of the Belmarsh prisoners that Aamer referred to in terms of that. And just in case you are worried that perhaps the anti-war movement is dead, can I just let you know that that isn't the case? There have been numerous demonstrations over the last little while in support of people like Joe Glenton, the conscientious objector, demonstrations outside the Chilcot Inquiry in the days that Blair and Alistair Campbell and Gordon Brown were there. And there are also going to be days of action on Afghanistan coming up over the course of the next few weeks. And there's one in Edinburgh this Saturday. In fact, if you go on the Stop the War website, you'll be able to see that. It's been a privilege for Stop the War War and Scotland Against Criminalising Communities to be involved in this meeting this evening, and also to be involved over the years with the people who are campaigning on this issue. We're very glad to be able to have some of the detainees with us as free men, and I would ask you to remember those who are still in Guantanamo Bay and the secret prisons around the world, and to do everything you can. Sometimes maybe writing a letter to your MP might seem like something that may not work, but it does, because they have to write back to you. They're legally obliged to respond. Thank you very much for coming along this evening. Thank you.